One of my subscribers has asked me to rebuild the Chicago Bears, but with the new addition of Colston, Loveland, and Luther Burden. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. I would appreciate that. Moving straight into the video, I honestly thought it was an interesting pick, picking Colston Loveland. He's definitely not a bad player. I think he's a good player. Over Tyler Warren is a bit interesting. I personally had him over Colston Loveland. You can have your own opinion, but my opinion was I thought Tyler Warren would have been the better pick there if you were to pick him. But also, why are we disregarding Cole Kmet? I mean, sure, you can have a double tight end set, but then you also got Luther Burden. There are so many options here for Caleb Williams. You got Joe Thuney, Drew Dahlman in the offseason. I believe, did they already have Jonah Jackson? I might be wrong on that. Braxton Jones is injured a lot, so hopefully he can stay healthy. And then Darnell Wright, hopefully he can fully develop into something better than Jalen Carter. Because keep in mind, the Bears traded down from the #1 pick, and they could have still drafted Jalen Carter, but they willingly gave him to the Eagles. But anyways, this is what we got going for the team. I think Caleb Williams has really everything he needs. I know everyone's going to make excuses and say it's the coach, it's this, it's that. I think Caleb Williams will develop with the team he has around him. DeAndre Swift took a huge step back in the previous season, but I think he can progress and just be a solid player for the team. I don't know if he's going to revert back to his prime state before, but maybe it was just a down year. We don't know. Luther Burden, hot take here. Maybe crazy to some people, but I thought he was the best receiver going into the draft class. I know you could say Agbuka or Tet McMillan. You could say whatever you want, but I personally liked him the best. He was my favorite as a prospect. And then for the tight ends, of course, I don't know what I'm going to do with Cole Kmet because did they already give this guy a contract? Yeah, they paid this guy. So it's like, why would you do that and then draft another tight end whenever you needed still another edge rusher on the board here? I really like Montez Sweat, but you could have had Jalen Walker on the other side. You got Shamar Turner, which isn't a bad choice either. I mean, I could start him and see how he progresses, but I really think that picking Jalen Walker there or another defensive lineman would have just been a better choice, or another defensive player, because there's already so many options for Caleb Williams. You know, some people probably didn't expect Luther Burden to slide to the first round. I personally didn't, so I guess they just really wanted another weapon for Caleb Williams. I know Colston Loveland has that athleticism type to him, but I guess we'll see how it goes. It's just my personal opinion. Again, I don't think he's a bad player, but it's just from my perspective. Specialist-wise, let me actually start Shamar Turner on the outside, and then everything else looks pretty good from here. And then I'm going to put Luther Burden in the slot. Odunze can be the number 2. And then finally, specialist-wise, let me put Tremaine Edmonds at the sub-linebacker and Tyreek Stevenson in the slot. So I like everything there. Jalen Johnson, of course, one of the more underrated players in the NFL. Montez Sweat has been actually doing pretty good for the Bears. Kevin Byard's an 86 overall. That's interesting. Is he officially like that on the roster? I thought he would be like an 81, 82, but interesting. Other than that, let's see how we do at the midseason mark for year number 1. 3-3 at the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the Travis Hunter Jaguars in a bye week. And then we're 10th in offensive points per game, 24th in defensive points per game, but we are 9th in defensive passing game and 1st in defensive rushing game. So I don't know how our defense is allowing so many points, but sure. Scouting national focus here. What do I specifically want? The offensive line on paper seems good. Maybe to replace DeAndre Swift at halfback so we can progress that in the future maybe. Players ready to negotiate here like nobody. Wow, this is not a good class for me to be re-signing. I have $59 million, and I want to keep in mind that I do want to save a lot of that money to re-sign players in the future for our team. But as of right now, let's see how we do and see if we can make the playoffs. And we go 9-8 and miss the playoffs. Honestly, how I expect the Bears season. We went from top 10 offense in points per game to 21st, and then our defensive points per game flipped with our defensive yards per game. Now it's top 10, so weird, but sure. Stats and awards, Caleb Williams, mid, really. 18th best offense for yards, and then 15th best defense here. I mean, he is 15th in pass rating, 22nd in passing touchdowns, 18th in passing yards, almost 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, 103 pass rating, got sacked 33 times, significantly better than his previous season, but it's still want to work that down below the 30s, which would be super ideal. But overall, it seemed on a paper, in real life, on paper, oh my gosh, I cannot phrase words today. On paper, in real life, this would be a good season, but in Madden, it's a little bit different. DeAndre Swift, 3.9 per carry. Okay, that's not the greatest, but still 14 touchdowns is nice. 2 fumbles. Caleb Williams with 4 rushing touchdowns. Luther Burden, year 1, 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. He's balling. DJ Moore, 900 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. Rome Odunze, 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. Colston Loveland, 650 yards, no touchdowns. And this is my problem with having 2 tight ends in Madden. I know you can put one in the slot, but it's like Luther Burden just balled out in the slot, so I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't need a tight end number 2 on the team, especially if I'm paying him $11 million a year. I'm probably just going to trade Cole Kmet. There's no reason to have him. I just spent a top 10 pick on a tight end. I'm just not going to do that. Sacks allowed. Drew Dahlman allows 8, 8 for Braxton Jones, 8 for Darnell Wright, 6 for Joe Thuney, and 3 for Jonah Jackson. Honestly, not bad. Drew Dahlman allowing 8 is a bit high for a center, but still, I'll take it. Tremaine Edmonds with 112 tackles for a loss, 15 for Grady Jarrett, 13 for Shamar Turner in his rookie year, 12 for Montez Sweat, 7 for Tremaine Edmonds and Gravon Dexter, and then sacks 8.5 for Sweat, 6 for Turner. Let's see if we can try to develop Turner. I'll give him another season because this is a pretty good rookie season. 5 sacks for Grady Jarrett, interceptions 3 for TJ Edwards, deflections on the team 8 for TJ Edwards, safeties is 0, defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Chiefs beat the Niners in the Super Bowl once again and crushed them. The Niners never learned their lesson evidently, as Patrick Mahomes wins another Super Bowl MVP, Lamar Jackson wins another league MVP, Caleb Williams wins the Offensive Rookie of the Year, so that's kind of glitched there, but it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. In the NFC North, Harrison Smith, Andrew something, I don't know who that is, Graham Glasgow, and Case Keenum all retire. For the team upgrades, Caleb Williams, does he come with superstar development in Madden Simulation? I did not know that. No, did he? It looks like he comes with superstar development, superstar X Factor. That's actually insane. So sure, let's do Gambit there. And then we can do tight outs for Colston Loveland and no look Deadeye. Sure, sounds good. And then for the team, surprise Luther Burden. You're telling me, did Rome Odunze get the superstar or did he earn it? That's weird. Luther Burden had almost 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns. He doesn't get an upgrade. Rome Odunze comes with superstar development, which is kind of insane to me that Luther Burden scores 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns rookie season. Doesn't get superstar development. I'm not going to force it for this time, but in the future, if he continues to ball, I will. DeAndre Swift is 26 years old in this simulation. We'll see how he progresses. And then no other upgrades that I see on offense. Defensively here, Shamar Turner naturally goes up to star development. That's great to see. Kevin Byard is regressing, as I thought. And then everything else looks pretty good here. So apart from that, let's see what we got for the re-signing. Obviously, it's the same as before. $79 million to spend in free agency. Let's take a peek there. Usually it's pretty bad after you sign a bunch of players and update a new roster. And the top player is CJ Mosley. Honestly, I don't mind signing that for a 1 year. Let's see what we have. Oh, it looks like Commanders are going after him. Probably won't be able to get him then. After free agency, I got CJ Mosley and Mike Hilton, both just on 1 year contract. I actually paid CJ Mosley $12 million for 1 year, which is a bit hefty for him, but it doesn't really matter. It's only a 1 year contract. So let's see what we have in the draft. Honestly, I'm super good on offense. Maybe I would look at the halfbacks for now. Is there anyone that's really a standout guy? Jarvis Lowry here out of USF, 5'9", 195 here. Marginal strength, B's and A's across the board. Doesn't look stellar enough to take in the first round, but he definitely doesn't look that bad. And then the safety here that I do need to replace for Kevin Byard at 6'2", 206 out of Oregon. Good speed, great strength, great acceleration, A man coverage, B play rec, B pursuit. Honestly, I'm not even going to worry about it. I want to pick this guy here. Ranked number 18, got him at 17, normal development. And I know some people are going to be like, oh my God, you should scout more. He looks good. I mean, the developments are really just a gamble at this point, but he's still a good player, still a good pick. I'm going to make him the starting free safety over Kevin Byard. Round number 2 here, I do want to look at getting a long-term back, this power back. Both these guys look actually pretty good here. Jeff Waller out of USC here, 5'11", 233 power back, poor speed, great strength though. Bunch of great break tackles. That's nice to see, but I don't like the poor speed. 3rd to 4th round guy, and Nathan Joseph out of LSU, 6 foot 230 here, solid speed, decent acceleration. Looks better on his skills, honestly. Do I pull the trigger now? I feel like I can wait on that. Let me go look at defensive tackles. The defensive tackles are getting old, so I really wouldn't mind getting another one. Dalton Rice out of Washington, 6'4", 300 pounds, great speed, elite acceleration, good strength as well, very balanced, A finesse moves. I'm going to pick him here. Ranked 96, got him at 49, but he does have hidden development, so that's the important thing. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, you just said that's the important thing. Why would you say it's the important thing and then proceed to draft a normal development safety? It doesn't really matter. I think long-term, these defensive tackles will be better for us, and I don't think there's any other good ones on the board. So let me see if there's any good linebackers that I can have at right outside linebacker. Sean Yacey at Auburn here, though. B pursuit, A hit power, a bunch of B's across the board. 6'4", 250. No one else really looks better than him, so I'm going to pick him, see if I can move him to right right outside linebacker. Ranked 55, got him at 51. Normal development, but I'll still start him at right outside linebacker. And that running back that I wanted just happens to fall into my lap in the 3rd round. Nathan Joseph, don't even have to look at him again. Let's see what we got. Ranked 30 in the class, got him at 81. Hidden development, absolute steal of a pick. He's going to be the backup for now. DeAndre Swift really didn't do that bad, but not a bad choice to develop another guy behind him. I know some people may consider this weird, but I'm drafting a fullback who's ranked number 11 in the class, got him at 145. Normal development, doesn't matter if he's ranked number 11 in the class. A fullback that I don't have to pay for the next 4 years, I'll take it. After the draft, the strong safety is a 75. I'm going to move him to free safety. Dalton Rice is a 70, hidden development. 73 for Sean Racy, normal development. And then 74 for Nathan Joseph. That's a steal. The fullback was a 75. Then I stopped drafting after that. Pretty good draft, in my opinion. Now, I know some people may hate this, but I'm trading Cole Kmet to a completely separate conference for a mid-second round pick from the Los Angeles Chargers. He's a good player. He's a good guy here, so I think it's a good fit for the Chargers itself. And in Madden, it's not very useful. And I don't think he's going to get a lot of reps in real life either, because you just spent a 1st round pick on a tight end, and sure, you can cycle them, but there's so many mouths to feed on this team with DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Rome Odunze, Colston Loveland, and Cole Kmet as well. I don't need to be paying a 2nd string tight end after just drafting a tight end in the top 10, $11 million a year. It just doesn't make any logical sense. So we're going to put Nathan Joseph up here, and this is what the team is going to be looking like going into the next season. 85 overall team. Nathan Joseph we can put in the power back position. Shamar Turner, hopefully he can progress. And then I'm going to move up Rice, and then Dexter is going to move up as well. So everything else looks pretty good there, like what we have. And then, of course, I need to move my new safety to the starting free safety. Everything looks pretty good on the outside here. Let's move up Joseph just a little bit, and he's actually a 74 overall power back, so we're going to make him the starter there. And then Luther Burden's going to stay in the slot because he balled out there. So year number 2, teams improved a little bit here on the defense. Let's see what we have and move into the midseason mark. 2-5, my favorite game of all time here, as we are coming off a loss to the Browns and a win to the Broncos. The team just sucks. It's just awful in general. The offense is bad. The defense is somehow even worse. Doesn't make any logical sense. Scouting national focus here. What do I even need, dude? I mean, I've replaced the safety. I replaced that offensive tackle. I mean, I could just double down on defensive tackle, sure. And you could say I need Caleb Williams just to progress as a player, but at the same time, he's already an 89 overall superstar X Factor. So, I mean, he's already progressing nicely. I would just like the stats to be a little bit higher here. Before the re-signings, Kyler Gordon here, young star development. He wants to have a mentor at his position, so make his contract cheaper. So let me go sign that real quick. Jason Verrett here, mentor. I completely forgot about that name. We're going to sign Jason Verrett here. That is a blast to the past there, as Jason Verrett will be a 1-year mentor for us. So Kyler Gordon suddenly has interest with the team. Let's boost up his salary a little bit. $7 million a year for him. Pretty cheap contract for a guy who's young with star development there. And then Jaquan Brisker, he wants the highest offer, so let's give him player friendly. He's going to re-sign. Shamar Turner should not be here along with other rookies, so let me adjust those contracts properly. Braxton Jones here, it really depends how he plays. He wants to have a mentor at his position. How is he currently performing? Caleb Williams is not performing well. 27th in the league for pass rating. A 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio is not good at all. Blocking wise here, Braxton Jones has currently allowed 5 sacks, is on pace to allow 10 sacks, which is not good. So I'm not going to sign a mentor. I'm not going to do any of that right now until I see how he performs by the end of the season. So as of right now, that's a no. TJ Edwards, I would like for another 2-year contract, $6 million a year. I'm cool with that. He resigns. Don't need Deo there. Don't need CJ Mosley or Kevin Byard. Don't need any of these extras either. Mike Hilton is just depth for me, and then everything else is fine past that point. So other than that, let's see what we have here and see if we can somehow make the playoffs, as we're currently 2-5. 7-10, the defense is just trash. Just throw it out at this point. Stats and awards, Caleb Williams, nice comeback on the season. 16th in pass rating, though. 10th best offense. Defensively is 28th, is wild. 4,200 yards, 36 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Don't want those double digits there, but still. And then 106 pass rating, 28 sacks allowed on the year. And the offensive line is improving. Caleb Williams is improving. I need my defense to step up. DeAndre Swift, 3.6 per carry, 4 fumbles, 8 touchdowns. How do you have a 2-to-1 ratio from your fumbles to your touchdowns? I'm moving on from DeAndre Swift. Nathan Joseph had 5 touchdowns, no fumbles, better average. Nathan Joseph is going to be the starter. I'm dumping DeAndre Swift. Luther Burden, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. This deserves X Factor, but he better at least get superstar this season. Rome Odunze, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Colston Loveland, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. DJ Moore, 700 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sacks allowed. Braxton Jones allows 11. He's not getting a re-signing. Darnell Wright allows allows 8, 5 for Jonah Jackson, 2 for Joe Thuney, and Drew Dahlman. Nice comeback season. Defensively, Tremaine Edmonds, 112 tackles for a loss, 13 for Grady Jarrett, 11 for Sweat, 10 for Shamar Turner, 9 for Gravon Dexter here, and then sacks, 10 for Montez Sweat, 6 for Grady Jarrett, 6 for Dexter, only 4.5 for Turner. He's getting the tackles for a loss, but I hope he steps it up and develops a little bit more because he was better in his previous season. But interceptions, 4 for Jalen Johnson, 3 for TJ Edwards, deflections, 8 for Kyler Gordon, safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Bills win their first ever Super Bowl, 35-30. Justin Simmons wins the Super Bowl MVP. Interesting. Josh Allen wins another league MVP, and he wins the Offensive Player of the Year. No awards here for the Bears. For the team upgrades, Luther Burden does get superstar development. Joseph is going to be the starter from now on. Everything else looks the same. Defensively here, my free safety did not get an upgrade, which is unfortunate. Rice comes with superstar development. He's going to start over Grady Jarrett, who's regressing pretty hard. Everything else here looks the same. Did CJ Mosley not play? I guess not. I guess the AI cut him. But anyways, other than that here, I need to apparently revamp my defense. Let's move into the re-signings. For the players ready to negotiate, Darnell Wright, I'm going to accept his option. Braxton Jones just allowed 11 sacks. He can walk. Kevin Byard and all these other extras can walk as well. $107 million to spend in free agency. Let's see what we have. We have Khalil Shakir, who I don't need, a punter, Tyler Algier, Patrick Ricard, Jalen Phillips. So I only signed 2 players on 1-year deal, another weak free agency class, DJ Reader on a 1-year deal just in case I don't have the Grady Jarrett replacement in time, then Rob Havenstein just in case I don't draft a good starting left tackle in the first year, but I'll probably draft left tackles with my first round pick. And we get pick number 9 in the draft here. Hopefully there's a good offensive tackle on the board. There's 3 left tackles on the board. Get a wide selection here. There's so many left tackles. Oh my gosh, I've never seen a left tackle class so unbelievably stacked. I actually have to weigh my options here. Seth Kinney here at a UCF, 6'6", good strength. That's nice to see. I wish I could just scroll down to the next player here, but I want to find someone that has the elite strength. I would like the at least good strength, great strength, elite jumping, agility, acceleration, good speed, A's and B's across the board. Philip Baldwin looks the best so far, even though we've only looked at 2. Morris Bryant out of LSU, great strength, looks good as well. He doesn't have the skills of the other guys, so I don't think I'm going to take him. We're going to pass on that. And then we got Troy Fletcher here, or Fletcher out of Oklahoma State. A lot of A's on the board here. Good strength, elite agility, great acceleration here. A lot of A's on the board. That's someone to really look at. I want to try and compare him to Philip Baldwin here, who also is very athletic, agile archetype as well here. I mean, they're both very good in both departments. Both of them can easily be considered here. This is such a stacked class. Cummings, oh my gosh, absolutely. Dom Cummings out of Texas, 6'5", 311. Very good as well. This is the most stacked offensive tackle class I have ever seen in Madden. That is crazy. Zach Carlsey or Carlsile, I don't know how to say it because I'm just stupid. Elite strength, love to see that. I would immediately pick him if he was the only offensive tackle on the board because of the elite strength, but I really like Philip Baldwin here. That's the guy I'm going to go with. I know Fletcher here may have looked better, Fletcher, however you say it. I like Philip Baldwin the best. I'm going to take him at pick number 9 here. Ranked 40, got him at 9. Does have the hidden development. That's what I care about. 89 strength, very athletic, like the skills. And then there's a free safety here, early second round. Joshua Bartell out of Texas A&M, 5'9", 206. Doesn't really have a lot of good skills on the board. He has A, awareness, though. I do like depth at safety. It does make a difference in simulation. Is there anyone who's a really standout guy here? This guy is. Second or third rounder, Reggie Brown out of Clemson, 6'2", 210 here. Great strength, decent speed, good acceleration here. B, awareness, A, block shedding, A, pursuit, hit power, tackle. This is more of a glorified linebacker, but I'm going to take Reggie Brown regardless here. Ranked number 11, got him at 41. Normal development again, but still he looks like a really good player. And at pick 22, this is the pick I had for Colston Loveland. I still need a defensive tackle long-term because DJ Reader, of course, Grady Jarrett aren't going to be the guys long-term. This guy's a run stopper, 331, 404 pounds. I already know this guy's going to have elite strength. Yep, I'm going to take him immediately. Elite strength, ranked 63, got him at 54. Normal development, dude, come on. But either way, 98 strength, 84 acceleration, A, power moves, play rec, impact blocking. He looks great. Not really a huge fan of the linebackers on the board. This one doesn't look bad. And Gerald Carson, not Gerald, my bad. Here, solid strength, decent acceleration. Doesn't look crazy. I'm going to pass on that for now. See if there's a better corner on the board that I can have as depth. But honestly not the worst. Larry Rosum here out of Tennessee, 6'2", 202, solid, decent. Doesn't really have the best athleticism, but let's look at Jason here out of California, 6'1", 180, elite speed, great strength as well. We're at a 4.44, a lot more balanced. We're going to pick up Jason here, ranked number 6 in the class, got him at 73, hidden development. What a pick. I don't even really need corner, but it's nice to have that depth, especially considering how awful our defense played last year. Trying to see if that middle linebacker that I saw earlier is still there. I don't think he is. I think he dropped off the board, but this guy doesn't look bad at all. Julius Mayer out of USF, 6'3", 241 here, solid, great, poor acceleration though. Don't like that, but he does have the skills, so we're going to pick him for the skills. Ranked 73, got him at 105. Hidden development, that was a nice value pick there. And with that being said, DeAndre Swift just sucked for me. He's just not going to be good for me in general. I'm going to trade him away. Is there anyone that actually has an interest in him? Evidently, it's the Commanders that have an interest with him. I mean, he was traded away for a 5th-round pick from the Lions to the Eagles, so I really don't think he would probably go for much that, considering he just had 8 touchdowns to 4 fumbles. I don't care what his age is or what his development or overall is. He's just not good in simulation. He was just not good there, and he wasn't good in real life, really. So let me get a next year's 5th-round pick from the Patriots because he's getting older. He played like crap in the previous season. There's no reason for me to keep him on the team anymore. Let me refresh the roster. And then defensively, Grady Jarrett, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a good player, but I just don't need you anymore, especially with a little bit of that cap hit that you have. So I'm going to drop him from the team, and we're going to simulate to the end of the draft and get into the draft recap. And Philip Baldwin is a 73, 75 for Reggie Brown, normal development, 72 for Nathan Dodson, but normal development, 76 for Jason Year, hidden development. What a good value there. Julius Mayer, 72, good value. And then apparently the AI picked up a 72 overall corner in the 5th round. Really good value there from the AI. And then the rest of it is just kind of just extras, which is fine with me, an extra QB and Jason Doyle. So sure, why not? Pretty good draft, actually a really good draft overall, especially for the defense. Now this is the team going into the next season here. It wants Rob Havenstein to start there, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to manually move Darnell Wright to right tackle and have Philip Baldwin start immediately. So we'll see how that goes. Everything else looks good. Hopefully Nathan Joseph does pretty good as the starter by himself in year 1. Luther Burden has already progressed past Roma Dunze here after starting at a lower overall and a lower development. And then Mayer here, let me officially move him to right outside linebacker. So we have a pretty solid defense with nice depth here at the safety and the linebacker position. Rice is a superstar development, so I'm going to make him the number 2 immediately here. And Jason has really nice depth as well. He can probably play in the slot. Hopefully Shamar Turner fully develops as a nice edge rusher. Let's put Jason in the slot, and then Nathan Joseph. And I don't know why Shamar Turner refuses to play defensive end whenever he is supposed to be a defensive end. Is he a defensive tackle? He's 289 pounds. He's basically a defensive tackle, but he is also a speed rusher and a run stopper archetype, so he can play here. I know he's bigger. I'm sure someone already commented on it, but honestly, I don't really care. I still want him playing on the edge there because he's still a big body, and we have a big body defensive line, so regardless of he's supposed to be in a 3-4 scheme, I still like him there. Year number 3, let's see how we do at the midseason mark. 4-3, technically the best midseason we've had yet, coming off a loss to the Packers and a win to the Falcons here. 5th in offensive points per game, 8th in defensive rushing game, 25th in defensive passing game, which is such bull considering the amount of depth that I have there. So that's kind of crazy, but there's nothing really more I can do to improve it. Scouting national focus here. What am I going to do here? I really don't need anything. I need my team to just perform already, which is getting super frustrating at this point. So I guess I'm just going to do linebacker because my secondary is really good. I have a lot of depth there. I have a lot of high-value players there. I wish on the stat sheet it would show you how many yards they allow, but it doesn't do that. Players ready to negotiate. Dexter here, he's probably going to want a bag. Yeah, $20 million a year, but he's young. Star development. I have the money. Absolutely, I'm going to pay him. Tyreek Stevenson here, he wants to be in a warm weather state. He's the number 3 on our depth chart, but still, I have the money to pay him, so he's going to get re-signed. Tremaine Edmonds will start regression here, but I still want him on the team for the rest of the rebuild. He's going to re-sign on a 4-year deal. Drew Dahlman has been great for us, only allowed 2 sacks in the previous season, $12 million a year. He's going to re-sign, passing out these contracts more than your mom gets passed around. Joe Thuney, 2-year contract, $20 million a year for him, and he wants to say yes, but he doesn't say it right now, but he might regress. And I think I will definitely re-sign him if he does get that option, but he probably will retire. So we'll see how he regresses and then pay him from there. Jonah Jackson's actually been pretty solid, but I still want to see how he performs this season. He's pushing 30 here, and then everyone else here, I don't need Zaw Frazier or DJ Reader. He was just a one-year signing. And then Rob Havenstein, Austin Cyber, I'll draft a new kicker, and then Caleb Williams, Rome Dunze. Of course, I'm going to accept those options. But apart from that, let's see if we can actually finally make the playoffs in this third year of this rebuild. 8-9, we missed the playoffs, dude. I'm getting sick of this. Defensive rushing game, 26. Our defensive passing game went from 24th to the second best in the league. Our offense just imploded now. Now it's the offensive problem. Now it's a defensive problem. Now it's an offensive problem, even though nothing has almost changed with my offense other than my left tackle. This is getting super annoying. Stats and awards, Caleb Williams, top 10 QB, 16th best offense in the NFL, defensively second. Doesn't make any sense. Defense clearly don't win championships, let alone make the playoffs in this simulation. 4,100 yards, 34 touchdowns, 7 receptions, 112 pass rating, got sacked 31 times. Great season from Caleb Williams. Nathan Joseph, only 3.3 per carry, 10 touchdowns, but no fumbles. Not a good season, but it honestly wasn't as bad as DeAndre Swift's last year because this dude had no fumbles and he had more touchdowns as well. Rome Odunze, 1,200 yards, 17 touchdowns. That's deserving of X Factor. Amazing year. Luther Burden, first year under 1,000 yards, but still a good year. Almost 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. DJ Moore, honestly been pretty underwhelming throughout this rebuild. Colston Loveland's been pretty good. 79 receptions, 750 yards, almost 6 touchdowns. Then Nathan Joseph doesn't have a receiving touchdown, but 300 receiving yards. Sacks, Philip Baldwin allows 13. I know that's technically a regression at left tackle, but he's a rookie. Hopefully he develops in the next season. Drew Dahlman goes from allowing 2 sacks to 7, which isn't the best, but still, there's only one bad player on our offensive line right now, and right now it's Philip Baldwin because he's a lower overall. Tremaine Edmonds, 113 tackles, 102 for TJ Edwards, 17 tackles for a loss, and 10 sacks for Shamar Turner. I know he's 290 pounds. He's technically a defensive tackle. He finally developed here. 17 tackles for a loss, 10 sacks. Great year from him. 13 tackles for a loss for Montez Sweat, 10 for Tremaine Edmonds. Sacks on the team, 10 for Shamar Turner, 8 for Montez Sweat, and Gervon Dexter here, or Gervon Dexter, my bad. 2 interceptions for Edmonds, TJ Edwards, and Kyler Gordon. Deflections, 8 for TJ Edwards, 5 for Edmonds, Kyler Gordon, and Jason, the rookie. No interceptions for him, though. But either way, I really think, again, that they should show the amount of receiving yards that you allowed throughout the year. That's a necessary stat. Safety, 0. Defensive touchdowns, 0. And the Texans win their first ever Super Bowl here over the Packers, 35-25. CJ Stroud wins the Super Bowl MVP. Jordan Love wins the league MVP. No awards for the Bears. In the NFC North, Ryan Kelly and Rob Havenstein both retired. Didn't even use Rob Havenstein. For the team upgrades, Rome Odunze does go to Superstar X Factor. That's awesome to see. He's going to be the number 1 on the team as DJ Moore has been pretty underwhelming, as I said before. Philip Baldwin comes with star development. And then defensively here, Shamar Turner goes to Superstar development. Jason comes with Superstar X Factor. I'm going to put him at the number 2, so hopefully he can progress very quickly. That's awesome to see here. No actual upgrades other than that. Mayer comes with star development. Yacy is a nice development piece. And then TJ Edwards is regressing. Might need to sub him out for someone else since he is regressing. And then, of course, I mean, I really don't see why my defensive line was considered 26, especially for the rushing defense with all these big bodies that we have, with Rice being 400 pounds, Shamar Turner being almost 300 pounds here. Like, I think this is a very bolstered defensive line, but I guess the AI thinks otherwise. Players ready to negotiate, Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. I'll accept both of their options. They're both ballers for us. Joe Thuney still hasn't retired, thankfully. Let's do a player-friendly deal, 2 years for him. He's going to re-sign on that. And then Jonah Jackson, honestly, he did not do bad with us, right? I want to make sure of that. And no, he only allowed 2 sacks, 5 in the previous season, and then 3 before that. So really good season from him, actually. So we're going to do a player-friendly deal. He wants to test out free agency. I'm not going to sign him for $22 million. I'm going to try and see if I can dive for him in free agency. Don't want DJ Reader. I can find a different kicker. $90 million to spend in free agency. Let's see if I can go get Jonah Jackson back. Looking into the free agency, oh my gosh, Aiden Hutchinson is here. He doesn't want to play for us. Kyle Hamilton. Oh my gosh, if I could have him at the free safety position, because I just am not good at drafting free safety, evidently, that would be awesome. Marlon Humphrey, I don't need corner. I don't need that. Don't need any of this, really. After free agency, Kyle Hamilton unfortunately doesn't sign with us, but we got a new kicker and a new punter, and then Jonah Jackson re-signs with us, even though I offered him the exact same deal, but sure, I guess. But anyways, let's see what we have in the draft for the 4th and final year. In the draft here, we're going to pick number 16. It's ridiculous that we haven't even appeared in a playoff playoff game yet in this simulation. It took a little bit for Caleb Williams to develop, even though he had superstar X factor. The offense is amazing. Where is Jonah Jackson? He's there. And then I don't really have the time to develop a new running back. I could trade for one, but I really don't think mine's the worst. He did have 10 touchdowns in the previous season. I would like to draft another defensive tackle here for depth. And then, yeah, everything seems really good. I would like to get maybe another linebacker to replace TJ Edwards, but I really don't see the problem. Drafting defensive tackles and middle linebackers in the first round aren't really a good idea, especially in simulation, but we'll see what we can do. I mean, is there really any point to this? Let's see what we have for this guy. Lane Denard out of Penn State, elite speed, great strength. This guy looks so good. I'm going to pick up this guy for our defensive line because evidently he was bad. Rank 63, got him at 16, and this is why you don't pick up defensive tackles in the first round. That's annoying. Round number 2, middle linebackers here. This guy has A power. I like to see that. This guy's a lot more balanced, though. It's the run stopper, David Matthias here out of Boise State, 6'2", 235 here. Solid speed, good acceleration, elite jumping, A play rec, A hit power, B tackle, C pursuit. I'm going to reach on this guy here in David Matthias, rank 72, got him at 48, hidden development. He will be the new starting left outside linebacker so he can progress quickly other than TJ Edwards. And honestly, I don't care about the rest of the draft. I think my team is 100% Super Bowl ready. I know some people may think it's crazy. I have a bunch of superstars on my team. My team is ready. My team is 100% ready. The AI just needs to stop being stingy. So after the draft, Denard here's a 73, 72 for Matthias, 73 for Gary Huggins here, a center that the AI drafted probably to replace Drew Dahlman, but he's not going to be useful considering that he's going to be a backup along with literally everyone that I just drafted here is going to be a backup as well. So again, I have all the starters ready on my team. The AI just needs to just allow me to win because I actually have a good enough team to do it. Like for instance, the Bills just won a Super Bowl in this simulation. They're an 84 overall team. I'm an 87 overall team. Why is my team not a playoff contending team? And I know there's going to be some loser in the comment that's like, actually, Vic, did you know Madden simulation is really dependent on playbooks and schemes? I'm fully aware. These are the schemes I run all the time for my 4-3. I always run the multiple zone run offense with the Dallas offense, or I could switch it up to the Kansas City. But just to prove to you, I'm going to make the playoffs this season. I'm already going to say it. I'm going to predict it. My team is just magically going to get so much better, even though I drafted depth players, and we're just going to magically make the playoffs now. It's going to make no logical sense because that's just how Madden simulation works, but I built up a really good team. I'm proud of what I built up here. We're going to magically make the playoffs. I'm not going to change the playbooks. I'm not going to touch anything. So the only real change I'm making here is putting a lower overall linebacker at left outside linebacker, and then nothing else is really changing. I'll put my lower overall superstar X Factor corner above Kyler Gordon. He's still a lower overall, which is what matters, but he's going to be actually in the slot. So, I mean, let's just leave him there at the number 2 as well. And then I'm going to take Shamar Turner and make him at the rush right end, which is where he should be. And then everything should be good from there. DJ Moore wants to play in the slot now. Sure, that's fine. But anyways, let's move in to the playoffs of the 4th and final season. Never mind, I guess I'm wrong. We're 9-8. My 90 overall team is 9-8. Perfect. My favorite, dude. Oh, well, Vink, it's your playbooks. I run the same playbooks all the time. Oh, it's a different scheme. Trust me, it's not that big of a deal. I guarantee you if I improved my running back, we would just magically be better. But anyways, I'm going to try the exact same thing again. I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, if you're trying the same thing, it's not going to work. It will. It's Madden simulation. My 90 overall team randomly misses the playoffs. My favorite thing in the world. So how about we compare the other teams? 87. Is there anyone here that's a 90 overall or better than my team? A 92 overall Chiefs team. Anyone else here that I can see? From what I see, we are the second highest rated team in the entire NFL, and it's still not worthy of a playoff spot. The only team that's higher than me is a 92 overall Chiefs team. This is such BS. And Caleb Williams suddenly just mid again. 16th passer rating. Here, watch this. Watch this crazy time lapse where I'm just going to skip everything and just magically go to the next season. Gonna quickly go through this. Niners win another Super Bowl in history, I guess, but not recently. So first Super Bowl win for a long time for them. Getting their revenge on the Ravens for a 2013 Super Bowl rematch. Let's see if there's any team upgrades on the team offensively. Colston Loveland goes to superstar development. That's nice to see. Joe Thuney retires, so that's something. And then Shamar Turner goes to superstar X Factor. That's great to see. Now let me spam through the re-signings, get through free agency, and just get to the next season. For the re-signings, Jalen Johnson here, just give him the money because we have it. He's going to re-sign on a 2-year deal. Shamar Turner, give him the money, $27 million a year for being a superstar X Factor. Darnell Wright, let's give him the money because I didn't even check the stats. Let's go over Montez Sweat. Let's give him the money because he doesn't like our scheme fit. He's going to re-sign. And then my free safety, sure, we'll take him. TJ Edwards can walk. All these other extras can walk. And then apart from that, let's see if there's a good left guard in free agency. And then I don't need anything else. My team's technically going to be worse without Joe Thuney since he retired. And there is a left guard here, Damian Lewis, 1-year deal for him. So let's see if he signs with the team, and he will sign with the team. So that's fixed now. Got everything with that. And I know I missed on my last one saying we're going to make the playoffs, but I'm not going to miss on this one. We technically have a worse team. We're not a 90 overall anymore. We're an 89 overall after losing Joe Thuney. Sure, Shamar Turner is an X factor, and we got this X factor, but anyways, let me skip past the draft entirely and then just get to the next season and then just skip right into the playoffs, and we'll magically make them. So this is what the AI drafted. Another tight end that I don't need, who's a normal development, so sure, I guess we're going to have him on the team now. And then a wide receiver that I don't need, and a bunch of other extras, so a bunch of backup players that don't really contribute too much to the team in Madden Simulation. Now, this is the team going into the 5th and final season. I will not be playing another one than this. It's ridiculous that my second highest overall team in the entire NFL still can't make a playoff game. I'm going to move Shamar Turner back to the outside because he's evidently been doing amazing. Let me check his previous stats on the season to see why he got to the X Factor. So he had 19 tackles for a loss and 7.5 sacks. He didn't really do necessarily better than the previous year. More tackles, though, so I guess you could argue that. But he's an X Factor now, so that's what matters. Let me change him to the outside, and then we're going to magically cut to the playoffs. And just like that, my team is now magically a first-round bye after missing the playoffs for 4 years in a row, because that's just how Madden Simulation works. And my defensive passing game goes from 2nd in the NFL to 26th in the NFL, even though I have the most, I guarantee you, I have the best passing defense depth in the entire game, in this entire simulation. But, you know, EA Simulation for you. Didn't change anything, didn't change the playbooks. That's just the way it is. Stats and awards, Caleb Williams goes off, dude. 4th in pass rating, 3rd in passing yards, 4th best offense, 22nd defense. Doesn't make sense. 4,400 yards, 28 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, 115 pass rating. Got sacked 37 times, though. Nathan Joseph here, 0 fumbles, 12 touchdowns, 4.2 per carry, 1,000 yards. Breakout year for him. Luther Burden, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's been balling. DJ Moore, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Roma Dunze, 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. Colston Loveland, 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. Sacks allowed. Philip Baldwin sucks, and then all these other guys actually had a pretty solid season. Damian Lewis is a downgrade from Joe Thuney, but it's not the worst. Tremaine Edmonds, 108 tackles for a loss, 16 for Sweat, 13 for Dalton Rice, 11 for Shamar Turner, 9 for Tremaine Edmonds. Sacks, 12 for Sweat, 10.5 for Dalton Rice, 7.5 for Turner. Interceptions, 4 for Jalen Johnson. Deflections, 6 for Jalen Johnson and Justin McLeod here. And then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. Can we beat the 8-9 Packers in the divisional round? I doubt we can, because the Packers own the Bears, but we're 6 overalls higher than them, and that should be the outcome. 28-23 is too close of a score for a team that's not nearly as good as us. Here to face the 85 overall Seattle Seahawks in the conference championship. This should be a blowout. We're 5 overalls higher than them, but you never know with Madden Simulation. Here we are against the Seahawks. They're going to open up with nothing. We're going to start out with 7. They're going to punt again. We're going to punt again for some reason. I don't know why we're punting in our opponent's territory. 14-3 here against the Seahawks. 21-3 at halftime. Absolutely crushing them. 21-10, 28-10. We should be crushing them. We're significantly better team. 38-10 against the Seahawks, and that will be your final score as we go from 9-8 and missing the playoffs to magically being a Super Bowl team after me literally changing nothing about my team. 3 touchdown game from Caleb Williams. Here we are against the 10-7 Las Vegas Raiders. Who is their current QB? It is Daquan Malone here, 90 overall superstar development out of Kansas State. Seems pretty good. But regardless, we are 2 overalls higher than them, so if we lost them, I wouldn't be too upset because they're still a pretty good team here, but we are the better team for sure. Everyone else here for the upgrades looks the exact same. Defensively, the upgrades look the exact same as well. And again, it's almost the exact same team other than Joe Thuney. So I don't really see why we're here in the Super Bowl, just because AI said so. But sure, why not? Let's see if we can beat the Las Vegas Raiders to cap this rebuild off in year number 5 with a Super Bowl ring. Here we are against the Raiders. They're going to start out with a punt. We're going to start out with a punch. Constant punts there. 7-0 start for us. Good stuff. Just punt after punt, dude. Defense is rule supreme here. Punt after punt. Third quarter, 13-0 against the Raiders. Our defense is being total shut down, even though we were 22nd in the league for yards allowed. And just like that, the game's over. 21-14 as we go from missing the playoffs to winning the Super Bowl after changing nothing about my team. That's just how Madden Simulation works. It's super frustrating, but hey, all that matters is that we won. We got Colston Loveland and Luther Burden a Super Bowl ring, so this will be a successful rebuild for the team. Your Super Bowl MVP is Caleb Williams. Patrick Mahomes wins the league league MVP. No other awards for the Bears, as this will be a successful rebuild. So anyways, guys, I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know down in the comments below who you guys want me to rebuild next. And apart from that, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next one.